So the lighting on Harney is a little dark, so we're going to edit him. And the thing that I really, really want to stress is how you manage layers and how you edit specific things. So I want to show you um, what you always want to do when you just want to edit a specific thing. So on Harney's layer, and in fact, I'm just going to type Harney Jameson. Okay, so I want to command click inside this little tiny thumbnail of Harney. So I'm going to command click. You see the marching ants. Now when I go down into my layer adjustments, I can go in and let's try levels. So my levels panel's down here. So if I take the midtones, I can start bringing these up higher. I can also make the highlights pop. Um, we're gonna make this really bold here. There's so many fun things you could do. I love Photoshop. Okay, so we're gonna command click again, and let's go in and let's see if we can really bump up the contrast a little bit. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to command click. Let's do filter. We're gonna open them up in Camera Raw filter. And it isn't applying those edits I just did, so no worries. Let's go into effects. Let's bump up the texture, clarity. A lot of NFL um, edited images are kind of like that. I don't know why am I adding a vignette. I do not want it. Vignette is like you basically darken the edges. We can also go into detail and we can try to sharpen, do some noise reduction. Okay, let's click OK. Okay, so now let's go back in to brightness contrast. So if I click here, I've got the mask. If I click here, I have the edit. Let me see if I can lower this a little bit. I might even go back into levels and lay off the highlights a little bit. You know, it really is just playing and pulling. And the good thing is we can always come back. So how do we deselect? Command D. You got it. Okay. So now I've edited him for now. And again, our layers panel can get very unwieldy with so many layers. So you got to work smarter, not harder. You know, that is my motto. So you're going to click on we want to gather all of the edits for Harney, in one layer. So I'm going to click on the topmost layer, and then I'm going to shift click all the layers that pertain to him. Then I'm going to go up to my menu. I'm going to say new group from layers, and then we'll just type Harney. Now this is also important. When you use your move tool, if you want to move Harney and he is in a folder, you want to make sure it's on group because now I can move him over. If I had this on layer, again, my move tool setting, it just basically goes on whatever first top layer it was. And that can be really frustrating and then you kind of freak out about it. So we don't want freaking out. Okay, so let's just try a couple things with a gradient. And I'm going to put it on top of my texture. So I'm going to click on my texture layer and I'm going to hit the plus here so I can add a new layer above it. And now we're going to fill it with a gradient. And remember, the best way to do this is by going up to layer, doing new fill layer and gradient. Why is that? It's so that it turns this little box on, and it means anytime I want to go back to change the color, I don't have to make a new gradient. I just go in and edit the gradient. And so when you click on the gradient box here, it picks up your gradient fill. We click on the gradient. we click on this blue stop and let's pick a nice red, like a really rich red. Okay. And now what I can do, this is where, oh, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out, solid. I think that's going to be okay for now. If I want to reverse it, the red can be up top, which could be kind of cool. But remember, if you want to change like how, oh, this is actually cool. I forgot about this. So it added another gradient for my fill here. So maybe I do something like that. I'm actually kind of liking that. Then on gradient, if I want to adjust how the gradient falls, if I click on my gradient tool over here, I can, let me zoom out because you got to really zoom out to be able to pull these gradients. So you just kind of adjust as such. And remember, you can move this all around however you want. The other cool thing is you can also change, is it a radial? Is it this angle? I'm going to hide Harney so you, oh, I'm going to hide Harney so you can see. Okay, I just keep clicking all of the wrong ones. Let me go back. Gradient. I'm going to pull you in here. There you go. It's just really fun to play with it, right? I mean, technically, there's really no wrong answer. It's all about personal aesthetics and whatnot. So, um, and again, that's what's great about art and photography. So, play with your gradient, and I will be back.